in the heart of ancient India, long before cities rose into skylines, long before machines, noise, and rush-filled human lives, there was an emperor whose name echoed across mountains, forests, and rivers. His name was Ashoka. He ruled one of the greatest empires the world had ever seen. But this is not a story of his power, nor his armies, nor his victories. This is a story of his heart, and the magical night that changed him forever. So, close your eyes, let your breathing slow, and let us travel back through time, to a calm night in Ashoka's world, a night when a glowing lantern appeared, and guided a king toward peace. The restless emperor. The palace of Ashoka was grand, pillars carved with lions, floors made of shining stone, gardens that smelled of jasmine and night-blooming flowers. But inside the emperor's heart, there was a storm. Every night, as the palace grew quiet, Ashoka felt a weight settle on his chest, a weight made of memories, memories of battles, of screams, of the Kalinga War that had left him shaken to his soul. He tossed and turned in his gold-embroidered bed. He walked through the corridors long after midnight. He watched the moon drift through the sky, like a lonely traveler searching for home. Even though he was a king, he could not find peace. One night, when the moon was full and the world felt unusually still, Ashoka whispered to himself, "Why does my heart feel so heavy? Why does sleep run away from me?" Like a frightened bird, he stepped out of his chamber, his footsteps gentle on the cold marble floors, and walked toward the palace gardens. The night air wrapped around him like a soft blanket. Owls hooted in the distance. Frogs croaked near the lotus pond. The wind rustled the tall bamboo. But something else was in the garden that night, something he had never seen before. The mysterious light. As Ashoka walked deeper into the garden, he noticed a small flickering glow between the trees, soft golden, warm. He frowned. No guard was holding a lamp. No firefly shone that brightly. No torch burned so gently. It was as if the light itself were alive. Ashoka felt drawn to it, like a child drawn to a story, like a tired heart drawn to hope. He stepped closer. The light hovered above the grass, floating calmly, moving as if it had a purpose. Ashoka followed it past the fountains, past rows of roses, past statues of ancient kings. Finally, the light stopped beneath the oldest banyan tree in the garden, a tree older than the palace itself, its roots twisting deep into the earth like veins of time. And beneath that tree sat a young monk in white robes.
The monk under the tree. The monk sat cross-legged, eyes closed, a small smile resting comfortably on his face. The glowing lantern floated beside him, gently swaying as if caught in a quiet dream. Ashoka approached carefully. "Who are you?" he asked in a soft voice that carried both authority and exhaustion. The monk opened his eyes slowly. They shone with a peace Ashoka had never seen. "I am a traveler," the monk said, "journeying toward places that need light." Ashoka glanced at the lantern. "What is this strange light that follows you?" The monk touched the lantern with his fingertips. It brightened. "This," he said softly, "is the night lantern of truth. It glows only for those who seek peace, not outside, but within." Ashoka felt something shift in his chest, a small, warm flutter, something he had not felt in years. Hope. He sat down beside the monk, letting the cool grass press against his hands. The air around them felt magical, as if the night itself were listening. The weight of a king. The monk studied Ashoka's face. "You look tired," he said gently. "Not the tiredness of the body, but the tiredness of the soul." Ashoka looked at his hands, hands that had signed orders, held weapons, commanded armies. "I have seen too much suffering," Ashoka whispered. "I have caused too much of it." There was a long silence. Even the wind paused. The monk nodded slowly. "Suffering has a way of following kings, but peace can follow them too, if they choose it." "I want peace," Ashoka said. His voice cracked. "I want my people to sleep without fear. I want children to grow without tears. I want my nights to be calm again." The lantern glowed brighter, as if listening. The 3 questions. The monk folded his hands and asked, "Ashoka, do you know what kind of king you wish to be?" Ashoka inhaled deeply. "I wish to be a king who heals, not one who harms." The lantern shimmered. The monk asked again, "What do you wish for your people?" Ashoka closed his eyes. Faces appeared in his mind. Farmers, mothers, travelers, children, monks, merchants. Ordinary people who lived beneath his rule. "I wish for them to live in harmony," he said. "To feel protected. To feel loved." The lantern brightened further, its warm glow spreading across the banyan roots. Finally, the monk asked, "And what will you do to bring this harmony into the world?" Ashoka felt his heart beating louder. He felt the weight he carried, but also the possibility of letting it go. He whispered, "I will plant trees on the roads. I will build rest houses for travelers. I will protect the poor. I will teach kindness instead of fear. I will send messengers of peace to every corner of my empire. I will carve my promise into pillars of stone, so the world will not forget." The lantern flared like a small sunrise. The monk's smile widened. "You have spoken with truth, and truth always lights the path ahead."
The lantern's gift. The monk stood up, lifting the lantern in his hands. Its glow warmed Ashoka's face, his chest, his trembling heart. "This lantern," the monk said, "belongs to you now." Ashoka's eyes widened. "Why? Why give it to me?" "Because," the monk whispered, "your heart is ready. You are ready to become, not Ashoka the conqueror, but Ashoka the compassionate." With both hands, the monk placed the lantern into Ashoka's palms. It felt weightless, as light as a feather, yet as powerful as a star. Ashoka bowed deeply, overwhelmed by gratitude. But when he lifted his head, the monk was gone, vanished like a breath of wind, leaving only the glowing lantern behind. The new dawn. Ashoka walked back to the palace, holding the lantern. Its light guided him through the quiet gardens, reflecting on the fountains, shining softly on the leaves. He placed the lantern in his room and watched it float beside his bed. For the first time in many years, Ashoka slept peacefully, deeply, with a heart that felt lighter than the moon outside. When morning arrived, the birds found him smiling in his sleep, and from that day onward, everything began to change, transforming an empire. Over the next months and years, Ashoka fulfilled his promise. He ordered thousands of banyan and neem trees to be planted along dusty roads, so travelers would always walk in shade. He built shelters where travelers could rest for free and drink cool water. He opened hospitals for humans and hospitals for animals, the first of their kind. He sent peaceful teachers and monks to distant lands, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Afghanistan, even as far as Greece, carrying messages of compassion. He carved his teachings into pillars of stone, so even centuries later, people would read them and remember his vow to the monk. He banned unnecessary violence. He encouraged kindness in families, villages, and marketplaces. He spoke to his people not as a ruler, but as a guardian. Children grew up hearing stories of the gentle king who placed flowers before weapons. Farmers whispered blessings when they saw his chariots. Mothers taught their children to speak with kindness, because the emperor listens to the heart. And every night, after the empire grew quiet, Ashoka walked to the garden, sat beneath the old banyan tree, and held the glowing lantern in his hands. The lantern never faded. Its golden light stayed warm, as long as Ashoka kept his promise.
The final night, many years later, when Ashoka had grown old, his beard silver like moonlight, his voice soft like flowing water, he visited the banyan tree one last time. He sat down slowly, feeling the earth beneath him, the same earth where he had once met the mysterious monk. The lantern floated above his hands, glowing softly. Ashoka whispered, "You have guided me well. You have shown me the way. Because of you, I became the man I wished to be." The lantern glowed brighter, as if bowing in return. Ashoka closed his eyes. He breathed deeply. He sent a silent blessing into the world, for peace, for kindness, for compassion. And in that moment, a gentle breeze passed through the garden, rustling the banyan leaves like a lullaby sung by the night. The lantern slowly rose into the air, floated above the tree, and dissolved into a sky full of stars. Its purpose complete, Ashoka smiled, feeling a peace deeper than any sleep, a peace that would outlive him. Epilogue: The light that remained. Historians say Ashoka changed India forever, not by conquering lands, but by conquering his own heart. His pillars still stand today, whispering his message across centuries. All men are my children, and I desire their welfare. Some say the lantern was only a dream. Some say it was a spiritual guide. Some say it was a reflection of Ashoka's own awakening. But wise storytellers believe something simpler. Whenever a person chooses kindness, wherever a heart softens, whenever peace is chosen over anger, a small part of Ashoka's lantern still glows in this world. Thank you for listening to this peaceful story. I hope it brought calmness to your heart and imagination to your mind. If you enjoyed this bedtime tale, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment about your favorite moment from the story. And for more relaxing stories, ancient legends, and magical journeys every week, subscribe to our channel, English Story Hub. Your support helps us bring more beautiful stories to life.